Hello everybody and welcome back to Steve on Steve Plays Crisis in the Kremlin. Now, we got a lot done in the last video. We're doing very well. Our economy is strong. It doesn't look like that in this panel. That's because we just invited Poland into the USSR. I don't think I recorded that. It's a shame. It's a really fun event, and it basically revolves around Poland having economic troubles, and you get to invite them into the Soviet Union. So now they're a Soviet Republic like us, and we can set the communists as a head, and we'll eliminate disloyal. So yeah, that shouldn't be a problem. Awesome. Yeah, America is starting to decline quite strongly. We've got an excellent position throughout most of the world. We're getting quite a good foothold in Africa. Asia is looking fine. We're doing quite well. Let's see, our reserve is very big. We are doing well. We managed to get France to leave NATO. So yeah, we're just gradually weakening America and their imperialist alliance. And as such, this might be the last video, potentially, I'm not sure. So yes, let's continue. Publicity, desovietization of streets. Local activists suggest to give street their old names instead of naming them after party members. No, we purged the traitors of Leninism. Fights against nationalism, anti-Sovietism, and Zionism was declared again. A lot of people were expelled from art unions and some books were even banned. Good. Yeah, look at the profits. We're making mad money. I'm going to increase my state mechanism to 300. And I'm going to increase KGB and soldiers living. I plan to increase atom research a bit, atom technology, because that gives us more ICBMs, just gives us more nuclear protection. I'm planning to do another series on Crisis in the Kremlin where I start in the 1991 bookmark, where there's the August coup, and you try to, like, you know, prevent the fall of the Soviet Union. It's very interesting. I think it's great fun, and I will definitely want to do that. Yes, I'm going to continue with subsidizing people in Africa. Let's subsidize Kenya, Uganda, Gabon, Zimbabwe. Yep. Some of these are going to flip soon, so we'll subsidize them as well. Sudan, yep. Some of them flipped back whilst I wasn't paying attention, which is a shame, but that's okay. Okay, Kosygin Requiem. Comrades suggest to continue cancelled Kosygin's reform. Nope, I think we've already had this event, I'm not sure. Okay. Everything's quiet. Good, everything's quiet. America is fine, so annoyingly. Let's see, let's do civil aid to Laos and give them military aid, and that lets us invite them into Comecon, which makes us stronger. Do the same to Syria, which is great. And now Syria's in Comecon. I've got this nice string of Comecon here. Yeah. Everything's quiet. We're making tons of money. Our reserve is swelling. Okay, so Sudan is flipped. Let's subsidize them. That's a lake. I think that's Lake Victoria. I thought it looked like a neutral country. That's a bit silly. You, Sierra Leone. Yes, we'll subsidize you. Cool. Yes, that's all okay then. We're losing a bit of money due to these subsidies, but that's okay. We can afford it. USA is declining. Yeah, definitely. Let's add more money to the atom technology, because that gives us more ICBMs, I think. Yeah, which is always a good thing. You always want to be the stronger nuclear power. Oh, that's a good song. Yeah, our military power is through the roof, and America's... It's taking them a while to decline, but that's okay. Alright, so Sierra Leone flipped. Let's subsidize them. Let's subsidize Togo. Basically subsidize everyone we can. Okay, we've got tons of science points, so what should we spend that on? Yeah, I'm gonna go for O-gas. So hopefully that will be okay. Just spending turns. America isn't declining as fast as I'd like them to, so maybe we should speed up our subsidization of African countries. I think that's the main issue. So which ones are near revolution? Maybe there's some in South America. Yeah, Argentina sounds pretty close to revolution, and we'll subsidize them. Any else? No. That's a shame. Okay, anybody in Africa? I think there was someone in... There we go, Zambia is in 50s, so that's good. I think that should be okay for now. We'll have the Arab Spring event, or something like that should be soon, so hopefully we'll see that happen. Everything is quiet, good, we're increasing our science points. America is holding on, annoyingly. They'll have their elections. When are their elections? Let's see. It doesn't show us. That's annoying. It shows us the French elections, but not the American elections. When are the American elections? Because then I think we can get Who can we get elected? We can get somebody elected. I think it's Ross Perot. I'm not sure. It might be. It's basically someone who makes them leave NATO, and that's a very, very, very important. That's like one of the last stepping stones to victory. So let's continue. At the end of a 5-year plan, we will increase the demands, because why not? Civil war in Ethiopia. Now this is important. Ethiopia, our loyal African ally, is defeated by the rebels. Mengistu Haile Mariam, the ruler of Ethiopia, had to fulfill some of the demands and install a pseudo-democracy instead of the old authoritarian regime. He is opposed by the united opposition, which has chosen Democratic Socialism as their ideology. Rebels gained power because of the hunger and death of thousands of civilians, which took place after all state money were spent to celebrate 10-year anniversary of Derg, whilst country suffered from famine. That's not too fun. We will negotiate with the opposition. We'll extend help to the Mengistu regime. We will do that. We'll extend help to the Mengistu regime. We increased our military and supply to Mengistu and our fleet, and that's spelled wrong, and our spec ops crushed the rebels. Male Zenawi was killed and opposition disappeared. Regime is saved despite the numerous deaths. The West is accused of supporting... I think that's meant to say the West accuses us of supporting bloody tyrannical regimes. Not quite. So these guys are all getting juicy subsidies. Let's subsidize Zambia. Oh, Zimbabwe flipped. That's... Huh. Okay, that's weird. You guys are all okay. Argentina, you gonna flip anytime soon? Not quite. Let's subsidize these 3 nations, Morocco and Tunis, and I also want to subsidize Papua New Guinea, because why not? Anti-alcohol campaign, yes, we'll continue price rising. We want to make our people healthy. Wow, their army power is really increasing. That's a bit annoying. Yeah, our ICBMs are increasing, I think. I'm not sure. Treaty with PRC. Chinese forces stand near our borders for a long time. I don't know why we're friends with them. That's weird. I think that's just one of those scripted events that you can't avoid. It's a bit stupid, but okay. Serbian communities. This is an important event. During Tito's reign in Yugoslavia, a policy of national settlements in order to evade ethnic conflicts was taking place. However, Tito is dead, and a lot of Serbian communities remain both in Croatia and Bosnia. And now, after the change in situation in the country, new clerical Bosnian government and Croatian leaders, who are supporters of the Ustasi, begin cultural and technical discrimination and ethnical discrimination of Serbians. It led to a new armed national conflict. We will support the independence of Serbian communities because that increases the strength of Yugoslavia. We diplomatically supported Serbians' right for self-defense by secretly sending weapons and military advisors to them. Cool. Secret agreement. Opposition, while referring to the Western information, demanded to fully declassify the KGB archives and the Pact of Molotov-Ribbentrop, and also declassify some secret agreement. However, we completely deny the existence of this secret agreement. As far as I know, there is no secret agreement. But the West says otherwise. What should we do? Destroy the secret agreement? Yeah, I guess. The USSR fulfilled the demands by declassifying all documents on Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact. However, despite Western protests, multiple checks didn't give any results. The secret agreement wasn't found. We managed to evade protests and keep our hands clean. Good. That is definitely good. America still hanging on. That's annoying. There should be an event at some point that lets us, it's called End the Dollar's Hegemony, which is very important to making their economy collapse. Desert Storm. When Saddam Hussein invaded Kuwait to annul some debts and gain additional income in order to save Iraq's economy, NATO defended its ally, and now they want to invade Kuwait to free it from Iraqi soldiers. The UN is preparing a resolution which will allow them to use any methods against Iraq. We all know how that ended. We veto the UN decision and support Iraq because they are our ally. After this initiative was successfully vetoed, Iraq and Kuwait, following the advice of our political advisors, were formed into the Arabic Federation, with regional Ba'athist organizations. Great liberation helped Iraq to evade future post-war economic problems. Cool. So now Iraq and Kuwait are the Arabic Federation. Nice. Alright, so we can remove subsidies from you. Remove subsidies from you. You still need subsidies, that's cool. You guys getting subsidies, Argentina? Okay, they flipped, so let's subsidize them. Who else is more or less on the path to revolution? Let's go Madagascar. Ooh, Papua New Guinea, let's check how they're doing. They're increasing, that's good. Somalia, let's subsidize them. Let's subsidize Tanzania and Angola. Occupation of Kuwait. After getting into a huge debt, 40% of which is owed to Kuwait, the Iraqi, I think that's meant to say Iraqi. This is weird. This event is weird because it's like a few Iraq-Kuwait war events in a row. It doesn't make any sense. But yeah, basically the UN Security Council is preparing to impose sanctions, veto the decision to support Iraq. Again, it's weird, but that's what we gotta do. Let's see our reserve. Looking very good. We don't really have to spend money on anything anymore, but I will spend them on ICBM and on computerization, just because we can. Soon we'll have 3,000 science points, and I'll put that into developing OGAS. The new level of threat, yep, new DEFCON. I will Begin the detente. We can afford it. That's a lot of money. I imagine a bunch of that is going for subsidies. Yes, so Tunis flipped. Let's subsidize Tunis. That's always good. That's always good. Those guys are increasing in revolution level. Everything is going smoothly. Ooh, the end of Pinochet's tyranny. In 1990, when most of the population protested against Pinochet, a bloody dictator who destroyed Allende's democracy with the ideas of optimized economy and electronic government, made country depend on foreign investors, ensured inflation, poverty, had to leave his position and organize the elections. However, he's still the head of the military and an influential person. But now when American influence is weakened, we can negotiate with the ruling coalition, which still listens to Pinochet, but is already disagreeing with him and ready to get rid of him in exchange for amnesty and international aid. Okay, we will organize the persecution of Pinochet because we can. Students and school protests, provoked by us and led by the left opposition, which began after the demand of free school bus tickets, free education at all levels and shortening of a 9-hour school day, grew national protest against neoliberalism and the Grey Cardinal Pinochet. I love that, the Grey Cardinal. Government had to make Pinochet to retire, and then national forces together with protesters prevented a coup. Then white opposition coalition was formed, which prosecuted Pinochet's cruel regime. Pinochet and his closest supporters were executed, oh wow, and the regime was admitted to be anti-human. Members of the new government, who were part of the regime earlier, were considered to be witnesses. Then contacts with socialist bloc were established, and during negotiations we gave Chile a loan, while they implemented elements of socialism in their economy. Awesome, so now we propped up another socialist regime, Chile, and we will subsidize them. Algeria flipped, so we will subsidize them. Let's see, who else do we need to subsidize? These guys are all doing okay, yep. Can we stop subsidizing you guys in a turn or two? That's fine. Madrid Conference. Today negotiations between Israel and the PLO took place in Madrid, during which the Palestinian autonomy and the end of the war were discussed. Okay. We will actively sponsor the PLO, yep. Negotiations between Israel and Palestine were interrupted by the assassination attempt of Israeli president, who is in a coma now. Ooh. Well, Israel is a terrorist state and we will never support them. Soon the war in Yugoslavia should be over. I'm not sure what's taking it so long. But yes, these guys are all getting some nice juicy subsidies. You don't need subsidies anymore. You guys are fully developed. Who else am I subsidizing over here? Aha, Morocco should have a revolution next turn. Okay, this is good. Suggestion of party member. We have been feeding the Eastern Bloc. Comrade Rishkov from our economic apparatus suggests to cancel subsidized prices and install market relations inside Comic-Con. Absolutely not. What is this? Pfft. Okay, so we can develop OGAS and sort PCs. Why not? Yeah. OGAS. Now when the optimization of the administration is taking place, should we use ECM to reduce the bureaucratic apparatus? This is a very this starts a very important event chain. Here, bureaucracy is a thing of the past. If you choose this, it starts a series of event chains where, as the economy is automated, people within the party start thinking of ways to replace you. And there's a few certain things that you have to fulfill to remain in power, and I don't know what those are. And I've never succeeded in it, and I intend to find out how to do it, but I don't want to know how to do it yet, and I don't want to spoil this series, so I'm going to go every machine is controlled by a human. By declaring a man behind every machine policy, not only we saved the state apparatus, but even expanded it for the successful control after the work of the machine and its results. Excellent, so that should really help our economy, which is already doing very well. Yes, America is continuing to decline, albeit a little slowly. Okay, this is good, one more nation to subsidize. Okay, Angola, Madagascar, this is good, this is good. The more nations that turn red, the weaker America is. Papua New Guinea is red. Oh, wait. Let's subsidize them, that was weird. Chile and Argentina are getting nicely subsidized. Who else am I subsidizing? Oh, these guys are about to have a juicy revolution. Cool, that's all good. Everything's quiet. I'm waiting for the Arab Spring event, because that's a really fun event. Well, it's not fun, but it's an interesting event. We're losing money, but that's okay. We've got our reserve is very healthy. America's still standing on their last legs, but still managing somehow. Oh wait, what's this? Everything's quiet. Good. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so one more turn in Chile will need to be subsidized. These guys are okay. I don't need to subsidize these anymore. That's sap. Oh wait, is our reserve too low now? Ooh, that's a bit annoying. Okay, so we're actually not able to subsidize people for a bit now. So once we finish these subsidies, we'll beef up our reserve a bit so that we can continue with subsidies. This is a good song. The second phase of the country. Yeah, Kosolapov, Stalinist, of course. Let's see our council. Oh, 100%. Beautiful. Total control. Gotta love it. America's still alive. Oh, this is a very important event. Yes, this is the one I've been waiting for. Elections 1992. The 1992 presidential elections are going to take place in the United States, and because we exist, we can try to influence its results. Of course, if the difference between candidates will be too significant, we won't be able to do anything, but if not, then we have a chance. Election candidates are Republican George Bush, who lost his popularity because of the failed promises, Democrat Bill Clinton, who promises social and tax reform, renewal of government, and strengthening the USA power in foreign politics. However, there is high support of Ross Perot, an independent candidate who doesn't support international confrontation and promises to modernize the American Constitution. We want Ross Perot to win because he is... Oh, we can't support Ross Perot. Weird. Huh. Maybe it's a different election. Weird, okay. Okay, we won't intervene. George Bush wins, that's fine. Huh. I think there's some kind of... I think that the event that I'm referring to is some kind of, like, emergency election that gets triggered when America falls too far. Third effort. Bulgaria, our loyal ally after the rejection in 1963 and in the beginning of the 70s, again asked to enter the USSR. Ooh, yes, of course. Invite Bulgaria in the USSR. With 3 efforts, Bulgaria finally managed to enter the friendly, fraternal family of Soviet nations. Even in Brezhnev time, it got access to Kremlin and trading prices like other Soviet republics, along with weakening of customs and migration borders. But now Bulgaria is a complete USSR member. Opposition and liberal media already have called it occupation and our country a prison of nations. Of course. Look at that! Bulgaria is now a Soviet republic. Let's set a communist aside. It's weird, we don't share a border, but whatever. I think it would be more appropriate if they changed like into this dark red color, because they're a Soviet republic. Yeah. Anti-alcohol campaign, yes, we'll continue price rising, naturally. So, okay, what do I have to spend my money? Let's see how my reserve is doing. Let's put all this money into the reserve. Oh, come on, not the detente. Yes, we have over 400, so we can continue subsidizing nations. Let's subsidize Morocco. Subsidize Tanzania. Good. We can stop subsidizing Argentina and Chile. Or Chile. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. You still need subsidies. You, yeah, of course. Yes. You no longer need subsidies. And you don't. This is good. Most of Africa is on our side already. Let's see, Papua New Guinea, still a few more subsidies, that's okay. New trade deals. The West thought that we depend on him for too long. It's time to damage their Arabic oil plant, that's excellent. China is a prospective and developing country which needs a lot of gas and oil, and we can export it to China while reducing exports to Europe. That would be amazing. But to do so, we'll need to build a pipeline. We will obviously do that. Build a pipeline to China. We won't take a loan. The pipeline is built, oil prices significantly rose, Chinese economy was boosted, and Europe received some damage. So if we look here, oil prices are already at 16. That's already greater than we started at the beginning of the game, and that's considering the massive oil crash that we had in, I think, 86. So yes, we're certainly doing quite well for ourselves. Let's see, what else can we science up? Let's do civil computing technologies, because why the hell not? What else is useful? Massive construction of the OTH Duga and Daryel. Radio locative stations will help detect missile launches. Okay, sure. This song is about a Soviet, not a Russian, but a Russian Civil War hero called Chapayev. It's a very good song. Political opponents. Now when we have hold stable... Yeah, this is like one of those regular events. We will save the political pluralism. We don't need to attack anybody because we own the council. I mean the Supreme Soviet. So that's all okay. Do we have enough money to start subsidizing more people? No, not quite. Yugoslavia meeting. Oh, I think this is the last event. The war in Yugoslavia goes on for a few years, and the last straw, as the West says, was accusations from Bosnian refugees of the genocide by the Serbian army. As a result, an urgent UN Security Council meeting took place where the West wants, after the request of Bosnia, Croatia and Kosovo, to enforce a no-fly zone and to begin a NATO peacekeeping mission. So, historically speaking, this is when NATO invaded Yugoslavia. We are not going to let that happen. Veto the decision and help the Serbians. Veto the foreign intervention, organize a joint peacekeeping mission. Yeah, we're going to veto the decision and help the Serbians. We vetoed such an obvious try to destroy Yugoslavia and sent humanitarian aid together with weapons with military advisor to Milosevic's government. After a few fights, Serbian soldiers fully destroyed the opposition. Orders restored, countries were preparing to join Comecon. So if we look here, Yugoslavia is no longer at war and they're now at Comecon. So now, the Iron Curtain stretches from Greece all the way through Italy, like that. That's quite good. Crimea. Our government suggests to return Crimea from Ukrainian SSR to the RSFSR. the Ukrainian Soviet Socialist Republic to the Russian Soviet Federative Socialist Republic. Both left and right wing supported because it was a personal Khrushchev decision. Another free and democratical choice of Crimeans. Most of Crimean population can help it, they're ethnical Russians. However, conservatives and national Republican representatives protest against this provocative action. Now, I have no opinion on the Crimea situation. Honestly, it's not up to me. I'm not educated enough in the matter. But I will just hold a referendum. Today, a referendum was held in Crimea for leaving Ukrainian SSR and joining the Russian Federative Republic. The result, 71% for joining. Okay. Yeah, you see, the Ukrainian SSR is a bit unhappy, but that's okay. Games of Kremlin. Comrade, video games become more and more popular. Not only children, but also adults play them. I suggest we build our own factory, Games of Kremlin, which will create ideologically correct games. Just imagine, our kids will be able to play as Chapayev and even Zhukov. Потрясающе. However, our consoles will contain timer, which will automatically turn off after 2 hours of gaming. Health is the most important thing. That's brilliant. Yes, begin to create games about the Revolution, World War II, and the Cold War. Excellent. Yeah, this has been a great episode. I hope you enjoyed this video. Like and subscribe, leave any comments in the comments below, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.